So you should have already seen my introduction to 4.3.3, which explains what your program should do and what the final version should look like. In this tutorial, which you should only watch if you're having difficulty with the task, I will show you how to construct the full program for 4.3.3. So as usual, we go to events and we select the green flag. Then we need to create three variables. We're going to have upper bound, the highest possible number in the range. We'll have lower bound, the lowest possible number in the range, and we will have a variable called HLE. We will use the set button 3 times, so I'm going to duplicate it. But each time we are going to use a different number. The upper bound should be 1000. Those are the rules of the game described on 58 and 59. The lower bound should be 0, and the HLE should be 0. Then we are going to use the repeat button. Repeat until. We will get an operator equals. Repeat until this variable HLE equals C. Move that up here. Now we are going to create another block here which will say set HLE to, and we'll choose answer. Or rather, we should first have a block here, another set, and this one will be guess, and guess is going to be a new variable, so we actually have 4 variables in total. Then we can choose guess from here. Set guess to, we'll go to operators, we'll get round here. And as well as round, we also need this particular operator here. And finally, we need the addition operator. And we're going to piece these together into a much bigger and more complex block. So we'll put round just in there, and we'll put the additions just in here, and then we're going to round the lower bound and the upper bound to get the number exactly in the center of our possible range. That's why, and we'll divide it into to get that number. So for example, at the beginning of the game, the lower bound is 0, the upper bound is 1000, divided by 2 equals 500. So we'll put this in at guess, and then we'll pull this inside here, nesting it. Then we'll go to sensing and put in ask. Join and join again. My guess is guess variable. Is it too high? This is what the sprite will say. Too low? Or correct? Go to control. Then we get a variable or two equals operators. We'll put them in here. And we'll say if theta HLE for both equals H, then so our program will vary its behavior based upon whether the user says that the number they are thinking of is higher or lower than the previous input number. Set upper bound to guess -1 using an operator. And then if the HLE equals lower, and then we can once again set lower bound to guess +1. So we're narrowing the range every time. And just one more block to go, the block which should show up at the end, which is say we'll use a join. Your number was, and a space of course, and then we'll present the guess, and then we'll place that block there. Let's try now and see if our program is going to function as intended. I'll just fix up this as well, it just isn't very nice formatting. My guess is space. Okay, stop, start. So our sprite is guessing 500. I am thinking of the number 300. So I will say this is too high, and you can see it's automatically halved its number. I think this is too low. 375 is too high. You see each time it's working out exactly half of the possible range. Too high, too low, too low, too high, too high, too low. And then finally it's correct, so I'll say C. And you can see it is working as intended. That completes this tutorial on 4.3.3.